Let's be part of something genuinely revolutionary. It doesn't require violence, doesn't require overthrowing any governments, but something that is genuinely revolutionary. We live in a culture that so often treats everything as a transaction. You only do something good for somebody if you're going to do something back for you. Whether you tell them explicitly, this is what I want in return, or you just hope for some favor, some influence, something like that. Our whole culture, our whole economy, our whole world seems to be built on transactional thinking. I'll only help you if it'll be good for me in the end. There's no real selflessness. There's no real love in that kind of a system. There's only, I'm really looking for myself and I'm trying to get something at the end of this deal, right? So much of our lives is built on only helping somebody else, only offering something to somebody else, only including somebody if it means you're going to get something good in the end. And Jesus takes our old transactional thinking and breaks it wide open with an invitation to everybody, especially to the people who have no way of paying anybody back. That's actually what Jesus invites us into as we take a look at our gospel text that's going to be this coming Sunday from Luke chapter 14. Jesus, again, does something revolutionary, but without raising up an army or trying to attack the Romans or overthrow King Herod. It's a revolution that starts right at our own dinner tables. Jesus looks at people who are wanting to be a part of his movement, a part of his new kind of community. He says, here's one way we do things a new way. Here's one way we turn over the old social order. When you are throwing a dinner party, when you are inviting people to your home, when you are doing something ordinary and mundane like the evening meal, don't invite the people who can pay you back. Don't invite people who can do favors for you in return. Make the invitation far and wide and intentionally include the people that everybody else thinks don't matter because they can't pay anybody back, because they can't do anything for you in return. In other words, attack transactional thinking. Resist turning people just into ways of getting something good for yourself. Resist it by practicing something different, by embodying an economy of grace. God's way of doing things in the world isn't that God only does something good for us if we're going to do something good in return, or that God requires a certain payment in order to be kind to us. God's way of running the universe is on an economy of grace, doing good to us even though we can't pay God back, even though there's nothing we can do to God in return. And so Jesus says, what if we embody that? That's how God intends to run the universe. We can begin to embody that now. What if we were the kind of people who, when you're going to have folks over for dinner, you don't just invite your friends or your family or people who are bigwigs and celebrities? What if you intentionally invited everybody, the folks who have no way of paying you back, the poor, the sick, the hurting, the people who aren't able to provide for themselves and who will never be able to do a thing for you back in return, because we dare to live in an economy of grace. That starts to change things. When we're able to show grace to one another, to include people without being concerned with what I'm going to get in return, it has a way of changing things around us, changing the way other people interact toward others, until really we get to live in this beautiful new arrangement of grace. It all starts in ordinary places like our dinner tables, or the table we gather at for communion. It all starts right where we are, in the midst of the busyness of the world. It doesn't mean somewhere else. It doesn't mean only in Church Place. Right here, we start the revolution. Join us on Sunday. That's the conversation.